Welcome back to Love and Junk Food. I'm Laura.
I'm John.
Today we have a super exciting little breakfast to try with you.
So we got an English fry-up for us today. We are on location in Cape Canaveral, Florida, but we just got here from across the state over on the Gulf side. We were in Port Charlotte, Florida, and we found a British food store.
We were so excited.
Yeah, but the most important thing for this is that we got some more beans.
Yeah, because as UK centered as we are at times, we did not pack beans
Right.
on vacation.
But we found some British bacon and some British sausage.
And it was that moment when we saw the British food shop and we thought, oh, let's see what they have that's different. And as soon as we saw the freezer and we saw what we could get there that we can't get at home, we knew we were going to be filming.
That's
while
right.
on location. So because we couldn't keep them alive during the road trip. So it was time. So what are the differences between American breakfast and English breakfast? This English breakfast. They did have black pudding. Sorry, I can't do it. I can't do it yet. I don't know if I'll ever be able to do it. I couldn't do it today. But they did. The woman said, oh, you might want to have that. But otherwise, she thought we had all of the components.
Yeah.
We've watched multiple videos. We've talked to several of you. And, we hope we do you proud. We hope it's good. That's what we hope for. But in America, you have definitely crispy, different bacon.
Yeah, this isn't bacon. This is pork or ham. It's more like a Canadian bacon than anything, I think, is what we would call it.
Yeah, well, we'll get into that in a second because I looked up something. We definitely eat tomatoes like this, but not with this meal.
Not with breakfast. No, we don't eat tomatoes with breakfast.
Some people, I don't, but some people put salsa on their eggs.
Yeah.
Or things like that. That's pretty common. Some people do ketchup. But I've never eaten a tomatoey kind of thing other than salsa, like in a breakfast burrito.
Yeah.
For breakfast. Mushrooms, which is one of my favorite words in all of the English language. I don't know why we don't make them with breakfast. I'm not speaking for Americans now. I'm talking about us. We put mushrooms in everything that we can.
Yeah.
So that totally makes sense to me.
Typically, as Americans, the only thing that we would put mushrooms in for breakfast would be like an omelet.
Yeah. Yep. And then the eggs are similar. The bread is similar. We did get a thicker cut bread than maybe. And then the beans, we would never have beans with breakfast either.
No, the one thing as far as like the cooking process that was different, I followed several videos, and one of the things that I saw was that the chef only seasoned the tomatoes. Salt and pepper, that was it. The rest of the stuff, he just cooked in the pans and put it on the plate.
Mm-hmm. And a lot of people say, we've heard two different things. Like if you cook everything else in the same pan, it's kind of flavoring each other. The woman at the store, or maybe a viewer, I'm not going to call out which viewer because we've talked to a couple of you. Some have the opinion we should have potatoes. Some have the opinion we shouldn't. In America, I would say if you're getting a full breakfast, just to trade information, the components would be, and if you're in the States, tell me where I go wrong. I feel like it's toast, eggs, hash browns,
Yeah.
What am I missing? A lot of times on the side, there's something sweet. Most of the time, pancakes.
Yeah.
When you're talking about like a full breakfast. Bacon or
sausage. Yeah.
Not usually both, but sometimes both.
Yeah. In the South, you get grits a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And which that doesn't hurt my feelings at all. I love grits. And then we usually have coffee or orange juice with breakfast, I would say.
I have coffee today.
I have Diet Mountain Dew. It's morning. I need my caffeine. All right. Let's go now that we've talked about this enough. And we can talk a little bit more as we're going. I don't know what I'm doing here.
What are we getting into first?
Well, I mean, I don't think it matters. I think we can just eat. I'm going mushrooms first.
Yeah, I'm going to go little beans, little mushrooms, little bit of sausage.
I mean, I know what mushrooms taste like. So I don't know why I'm trying those first. Probably because they're one of my favorite things in the world.
The sausage is very tasty.
Everybody in the world, I would say, has different eating habits, right?
Right.
We have different eating habits from each other. I'm so curious how you eat this. This is going to be an Instagram question because I saw this. Somebody else posted about this. I'm so curious. Do you start with the thing you like the most?
Oh, right.
Or do you start with the thing that you like the least? Me, I didn't do it this time, but if I'm eating dinner, generally I eat my vegetable first because what's worse than cold vegetables, honestly, unless it's supposed to be cold like a salad. But I'm just curious how you eat. Are you start with your favorite, end with your favorite? I'm going sausage.
That whole bread came out. My mouth.
But also, are you a food mixer upper? Are you, when you eat this breakfast, would you mix the beans around with everything? What are we missing? HP probably. We don't have any.
We don't have any. Let's see. What are the differences that we have from like the video that we watched? Well, I think at the last place we forgot our butter there, so we didn't use any butter in it, which is okay. The mushrooms are still good. They were cooked in some olive oil, and those are very flavorful, very good. I gotta try the bacon.
Interesting. And by interesting, I mean delicious.
Oh, so, that's good.
I asked John a question while he was cooking about the difference in bacon. Sorry. And I looked this up. If you're watching and don't know, or if you didn't know, it says splitting the difference between U.S. style bacon and Canadian bacon is the English rasher. While Canadian bacon is cut from the loin on the back of the pig, on the back of the thing, I don't like to think about that. And American style comes from the pork belly. English bacon is a combination of the two, and that is what it tastes like. I didn't tell John that until now, but I was asking him like, what do you think the differences are and whatever, and that's what it says. Now tasting that, can't you see it?
Oh yeah. Yeah, it's good. I think that the English bacon comes, like you said, from two different parts. And when you look at it, when it's raw before you cook it, it looks a lot like our pork chops. You know? Kind of, only sliced thinner. Like from that same cut of meat, but it's very tasty. Oh boy, so sorry. Yeah, it's good.
John's not normally allowed to use knives while we're filming. I just did toast, egg, beans. And that was one of my favorite bites.
You need to try bacon, tomato, and bread. You know what it tastes like?
What? BLT?
was a good bite. I think that was like my favorite bite.
So I'm so curious what different components you have, or what of these you wouldn't have. Because, like I said, just because this is typical doesn't mean that everybody likes it the same way. You might want to add something or leave something out.
Yeah, because like our American breakfast, I mean, there's a million different combinations to have it in. You know, it depends on like how you cook your egg.
Oh yeah, how do you like your eggs normally? So, I am a big, I don't eat eggs a whole lot, to tell you the truth. I'm not a big breakfast person. Every once in a while. Because I'm barely on until hours after I get up. I'm a slow boil kind of a person.
Mm-hmm.
You eat eggs in any form or fashion, I would say.
Yeah, mostly. I mean, we don't do soft-boiled eggs, but hard-boiled eggs, over easy, scrambled, all good.
I like a good fried egg sandwich. Where you break the yolk, you know. And,
oh, yeah, that's good.
I like that a lot. If you've never tried this kind of bacon, I don't like it better than what we get as bacon.
Right.
It feels like something completely different.
Yeah.
But I like it equally, I would say. It just feels different. I don't know that I would want this on a BLT, but I like it with breakfast very much. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Does that make sense?
Yeah, it's good.
So, we're really having a good time on vacation.
Yeah.
And we have tried, we went to a little fish and chip shop, and that was really fun. And that was the best fish we've had
here
on this trip.
Mm-hmm.
And John's tried fish now. Have you tried 3 times?
I don't know.
That was the best one he's had.
Oh, I thought you meant trying to fish, like fishing.
No.
Yeah.
Remember the beginning of my sentence? We went to a British fish and chip shop.
Yes, that was the 3rd fish that we tried, and it was the best. The other ones were, I had a couple grouper sandwiches. One was fried. One was blackened. Both very tasty, but I don't know what the deal was. The portions were very small, and you know, that fish and chip that I had, it was huge, and it was piping hot and so good.
We never know what order our videos are going to come out in. And I always say that. But also, we never know what order you're going to watch them in, because we pick up new people all the time. So if that video isn't out yet, look for that soon. I don't even hardly ever order fish, to be honest with you. I like fish at home, but I usually don't order it, because if you know, you know, right? If you've been there before and you know they have good fish, then great. Then I'll order it. But a lot of times at a new place, it's kind of like, So normally I wouldn't order fish. That is my favorite fish I can remember having, like, at a restaurant.
Yeah.
It was amazing.
I tell you what, when we're back home in Iowa, you know, we are in the middle of the country. We are far from any coast. You know, unless it's like
we do catfish at home mostly.
Yeah, unless it's like catfish or walleye or like bass or something like that that's caught, you know, from a lake. We just usually don't order fish from a restaurant.
Right.
But when we come to Florida, we're like seafood, seafood, seafood.
Mm-hmm. For sure. So, overall, how would you rate this?
It's good. I don't necessarily like it better than like an American breakfast, because that's what we're used to. That's what we grew up with. I do like it with the mushrooms and the tomatoes and the beans. I think it's very good. It's a hearty breakfast. You know, it's something that I think you could, if you happen to have skipped lunch, I think you'd be all right.
So for me, the things that stand out are the beans, because that's not something we would normally have. And that tomato, and it's different, by the way, if you've never tried these kind of beans before. They're not sweet like our beans are.
Yes.
So it just kind of, it's filling, it's comforting, and just a nice tomato flavor that goes with everything on this plate.
Yeah.
So I love the beans, and I love adding that in. We can get those easier, more places, more readily available than we can like the bacon.
Right.
This is the first time ever out in the wild I have seen that kind of bacon.
Right.
Ever.
Yep.
So,
exactly.
And all of the other components besides the bacon feel familiar.
Sure, we just don't eat it for breakfast.
Well, toast, eggs, and sausage we would always have as part of one of our breakfasts. And the mushrooms and tomatoes are familiar. We just normally wouldn't have them at breakfast. I like adding extra veggies into breakfast.
Sure.
I would say in our country, and maybe all over the place, you see asparagus and those kind of things as part of like with hollandaise or
hollandaise,
whatever.
yep.
I like the mushrooms and tomatoes, like a lot. So, I mean, when I eat breakfast, I think I wouldn't mind incorporating some of this.
Sure.
I mean, anyway, the stuff that we can get. Anyway.
Yeah. Right.
I think that's all we have for today.
I think so.
We want to finish our breakfast.
That's
I want
right.
to eat on this a little bit more. So thank you for hanging out. Let us know what components of this you do differently. Maybe you do always like to have hash browns. That's the thing I'm missing from what we would normally have. If we would make everything, like if I can pick all of my favorite components of breakfast, this is what I would do. Beans, and I think I would want to mix beans with hash browns. Not mix them, but eat them together, like put beans on hash browns. I think that would be an amazing bite. Tell me if I'm wrong. And of course the sausage and all of the other components, the same. That's what I'm missing. And from American breakfast, I can get rid of pancakes.
No way.
I like pancakes when I want pancakes, and I just am eating pancakes. I don't really like to eat this kind of thing with pancakes. That's how I am personally. I'm not speaking for Americans because he is certainly not that way.
I would love to have some pancakes with this, or a waffle or something like that. Some maple syrup on it. I would love to like eat a little bit of this, the savory components, and then switch a little bit and get a little sweet. And I just think it helps like on your palate. It's just so tasty.
That's not my thing. Anyway, that's the only thing that's missing for me is hash browns or potatoes. And some of you said that you always do potatoes with yours. So I can just like taste it. The potatoes with the beans I think would be perfect. In fact, I could see hash browns, beans, and an egg. Like just that together.
Oh yeah, for
or
sure.
Or just that with toast to like dip into all of that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Amazing. Because I'm sure you don't do all of this all of the time. I mean, maybe you do.
Right.
I don't know. Anyway, if you're not subscribed to this channel or the other channels, maybe if we did a bunch of stuff wrong, we'll have to see if we can do it again. You know, I don't know. And we want to try other things. On this trip, we tried a beef and mushroom steak and mushroom pie. We tried banger rolls and some different things. So now we want to go back and try to make some of these things.
Yes.
So if you have tips, tricks, comments, whatever, make sure to go to the comment section while you're there. Subscribe to this channel along with our new channel where we travel and do DIYs and do other things, and then you can follow along on this trip as well. Our trip back, we're starting to head back home here before too long. Make sure you subscribe to all the channels, including our game channel where we hang out and play games.
Yeah.
Come find us on social media if you haven't. A good place to find us would be Instagram or Facebook. They're about the same. Now, if you love trying new things and experiencing foods from other countries, which we love.
We do.
We love. That is our favorite thing. Trying new food products is nice, and we like that every once in a while.
Yeah.
But tasting what our viewers make in their home and eat, and experiencing something that we've only seen on TV or they've talked to about us in comments, we love that.
Yeah, we sure do.
That's our favorite thing. So if you're into any of that, or us or the video, give this video a big thumbs up. It really helps us grow when you do that. That's all we have for today.
That's it, guys.
See you next time.
Bye.